Here's Rob Dibble.
Well, if you're just joining us after the Yankees game, congratulations to the Yankees. Now your spoilers, you were eliminated yesterday mathematically, along with a lot of other teams that are getting their tea times together right now and going to enjoy a long offseason of reflection. But, as a Cowboys fan, I've been telling you, don't get sucked into believing that the offense is any better than it was last year, the year before that, or the year as long as Dak Prescott is there. And Dak Prescott, if you watch him as much as I do, he fails to check down the defense. He stares down his receivers. He gives the defense time to close. He cannot be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. They need somebody better than that.
Wow.
So if it's Cooper Rush, I could care less.
Whoa.
But, I've been saying it for 5 years. I mean, Tony Romo was another guy that was a stats magician. And then you get to the postseason and lay eggs. And it's just, you need greatness. You really do. And then it just shows you, listening to everybody's hate on Zach Wilson or Mac Jones or some of these other guys. These other guys are okay. They're quarterbacks.
Okay.
They're in the NFL. It's just like 90% of the pitchers in the major leagues. 10% are great. The rest are okay. And you get overwhelmed with the hype. But Dak Prescott, you could give him $100 million, he's still going to be Dak Prescott. You could give Tony Romo $100 million, he's still going to have 2 playoff wins. So I just think I've been watching football for 50 years, and you know greatness when you see it. When you see a guy that can win you games with 30 seconds left on the clock. You see guys that can, do drives, under 2 minutes 20 times in their career. The John Elways, the Dan Marinos, the Tom Bradys, the Aaron Rodgers, those are great quarterbacks. I've watched them all of my life. Dak Prescott's not that guy. The defense was off a little bit yesterday because obviously Trayvon Diggs is out. So everybody else is scurrying around. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And they give up big plays to a bad team with a backup quarterback. And everybody's shocked? No, I'm not shocked. You're down 2 linemen on offense.
Yeah.
Your center is down. A couple of times he threw the ball. I'm not going to blame this on Dak. The guy hikes the ball at Dak's feet. Dak can't do anything with that. So, listen, Mike McCarthy, some of these guys that are in the Cowboys organization, they make excuses. They don't execute properly. And so you see it all over the NFL. They're not the best team in the NFL. They're not the worst team in the NFL. They're probably in the top 25%, but that doesn't mean they're going to the Super Bowl.
No, I mean, it was a bad performance for sure on offense. The only person you really hang your hat on was Tony Pollard, who had a great day running. But again, I question the play calling at the end of that ball game for giving the ball to Tony Pollard when you're down 2 possessions. You got 5 minutes to go.
Left. You're down 12 points. What the hell are you running the football for?
Let's go.
Do you have But see, here's the thing. They don't have a hurry-up offense. And Dak can't run a hurry-up offense because, he throws in a double and triple coverage. Who does that remind you of? Tony Romo. Tony Romo was the worst quarterback in the fourth quarter with less than 5 minutes to go for his entire career. And people go, Tony Romo this and Tony Romo. No, Tony Romo, he can't find the open guy. That is not a good quarterback. Good quarterback. If you watch Patrick Mahomes, he will show you that Travis Kelce will break routes constantly, but finds him when he gets open.
Yeah.
That's a great quarterback. I know my guys. I know my personnel. I know this jabroni's going to break off all the time and find the opening. It's my job to find that opening and hit him with a pass.
Yeah, the one thing I will give you a nod to is that staring down the receiver. I do find that, and I thought that with Tony Romo too, with T.O. or even some Miles Austin in there. It's just with CeeDee Lamb, and I know you got to get him the ball. Yes, you do, but he's going to garner a lot of attention. Yep. And if you force stuff into him, it's not going to work out. But I bet you when you're playing against the 11 on the other side, if they're putting 2 guys or bracketing them in a way where you're going to leave someone else open. For the Cowboys, man, I think they got hit right off the bat and could never come back.
You got punched in the mouth. You know what? You got to plan, like Mike Tyson said, until someone punches you in the mouth.
So true.
And they were up, 9-0, and all of a sudden, what's the spread? I mean,
it was panic mode.
It was panic mode.
Josh Dobbs deserves some credit, not only this week, but last week. He played really well. And
we said that last week. Stop playing so good.
Yeah, stop it.
playing so good. You're making Kyler Murray look bad. Tough crap.
So true.
So ridiculous.
There's so much that happened in the world of football, but just sticking with the NFL, man, how great do the Miami Dolphins look? All right,
All right, let's break that down a little bit.
Backups that are kicking
the
butt.
Broncos are awful. We know that.
0-3.
And, Sean Payton took off over an awful club. He didn't bring Russell Wilson in. And so he's trying to navigate around this guy that's like, he had his own office. He's got his own agenda. He's got all these other branding things going on. And I need an NFL quarterback. He had that down in New Orleans. He doesn't have that in Denver. And so he's struggling with that. And, I feel bad for the lineman that made the I've been here 7 years. We've sucked for 7 years. It sucks when you waste your career or most of it under bad management.
Was that Garrett Bowles that said that I'm sick of losing?
Bad.
I've been here for 7 years.
I feel bad. I've been on bad teams. I understand what his issues are there. But at the same time, I like the Dolphins, man. They've got a game plan. They've got everybody that has bought into the game plan. And it's not about the scoring 70 points. It's about execution. They executed plays. And like even their coach said after the game, listen, even when we made mistakes, we made up for it because we did what we were supposed to do. We went over this stuff in practice and we executed our game plan for 60 minutes. If it's 70 points, if it's 40 points, as long as you come out with a W, he could care less if it was historic. He wanted to win the football game and move on to next week. A lot of these guys sound like disciples of Belichick, but I think they're learning that you can't get too caught up in one win.
Not in this league.
Not in this league. There's so much attrition. As long as Tua is healthy, let's ride it. Tyreek Hill, these guys, let's ride it as long as we can. You never know when that's going to turn on you.
So I have the listing of top QBRs in the NFL through 3 weeks, and I know we still have 2 games to play tonight. But this is a really good indicator, I think, over time of whether a quarterback is playing well or he is not. And you can just look at the stack, and it totally lines up with what's going on here in the first 3 weeks. Tua, top of the pile at 83.2.
Yep.
Plus, the other statistic that I love on Tua's line is 10.1 per catch. 10.1 yards per catch. There's not a lot of dinking and dunking. And when I thought that this guy, when he got into the league, was a dink and dunk artist. But now, on top of the concussions that he suffered, he's hanging in the pocket. He has so much more confidence than he did a couple of years ago. And this offense has so many different options that aren't named Tyreek Hill, but you throw that speedster in the mix, man. It's playing with fire there going up against Miami. Brock Purdy next on the list. We know how well he's played with San Francisco and hasn't had to do much. Hasn't had to be a world beater out there.
8.1 yards per catch.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of these guys that are up there, they're getting throws, they're getting close to first downs on every throw or almost a first down on every throw. That's when you know these guys are running good routes and they're running guys off and they're getting first downs.
Guys that you don't like, I'm not surprised to see Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen right there. That's your top 7. Then you get into Jordan Love category. Then you get to Geno Smith. Then you get to the guys you're talking about, Dak, Josh Dobbs, and then even my backup at the Colts, Gardner Minshew. That just illustrates the mediocrity in the league at that position. Like, even at the top, Tua right now is at the top. Brock Purdy has been one of the best game managers / playmakers. Justin Herbert getting paid, making plays all over the place, compiling the stats. You know about Josh Allen, you know about Patrick Mahomes, then there is a serious drop-off into mediocrity land. And I think that was on display with the New England-New York Jets game. Like, yes, Mac Jones won the football game. Mac Jones isn't chopped liver. Mac Jones isn't one that the Patriots are thinking, man, we got to replace this guy or we're going to be dog crap the rest of the game or the rest of the season. I think you're saying that about Zach Wilson as soon as he got put in there with the Jets. Much worse than what Mac Jones is bringing to the party, honestly. Like, I think he throws some bad balls. He puts them in some bad situations. But Mac Jones isn't killing teams. He's not. Somebody put this morning. He is extremely average. He's extraordinarily average.
Yeah.
And, that can win you some football games, but it doesn't look like it's going to win you a Super Bowl. It's just the teams in this league that have legit QBs, they are light years ahead of everyone else in this league. And, man, I totally agree. I think that the Cowboys have an average quarterback.
Well, Justin Fields is below average as well.
For sure.
I mean, it's 27 starts in the NFL. He's 5-22. His QBR rating is 21.5. And to tell you how bad he is, that's 6 points below Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's at 27. So
wow.
these guys are both bringing up the bottom. But, listen, that the problem is you probably didn't give this guy a lot of reps in camp, because everything was going to Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
Now, all of a sudden, he is getting all the number one snaps. But listen, he's not as bad as some of the – if you watch a lot of football, and you and I and Kurt and everybody, we watch a lot of football, there's a lot of bad quarterbacks out there. Right now, Joe Burrow is playing awful.
We'll see tonight.
Awful, right. And so but he's playing on one leg, and I truly believe that. And he shouldn't be playing. Even his teammates that know this is the way we get to the Super Bowls through this guy, they don't want him out there at whatever percent they think he is right now, because they're the only ones privy to the training room. So they know what he's doing in the training room every day. They know the rehab he's going through every day. We just see a little bit of it during the game on the sideline. So I think that just shows you that some of these guys, maybe, listen, you're hurting the team by playing, and you can't play that position and not be at least mobile and at least being able to throw off that back leg. He's certainly not normal. And here's the thing, the worst part about it is you can hurt your arm. You can hurt your arm. Do you want to hurt your throwing arm because you're trying to go out there and be your hero? No. So, for the Bengals, it's better to maybe miss a few games without Joe Burrow than to miss the rest of the season without Joe Burrow.
He's still questionable right now. I haven't checked in the last couple hours. They will be hosting the Los Angeles Rams. You can hear the game after the show right here on this station. Think about the playoffs. Brock Purdy goes down. San Francisco 49ers have no chance. Tua's out. Skylar Thompson played a little bit good. He may have been close to winning that game against Buffalo, but if they did, he isn't going to take you through the Super Bowl. So people like Jamar Chase, people like Garrett Wilson, know how important it is to have that guy. And I would rather have him in the back end of the season than the front end.
All right, let's talk about this because it reminds me of Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson, how stupid it is. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And just even the fact that Aaron Andrews, they should just pull her off the sidelines.
Oh.
The fact that you asked Patrick Mahomes, was there added pressure with Taylor Swift and the Swifties being it? Shut the hell up. You're an absolute moron for even bringing that up on a football field. So that just shows you that this is what kind of game the NFL has become. That it's not, you're not serious people. The people covering the game are not serious. You kept showing Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce's mom. It's sickening to me. Just like it was when Jessica Simpson was with Tony Romo, and then they went on vacation right there before the playoffs, and you saw how that worked out with a big L. So
I was happy
Travis
about
Kelce's a hell of a football player. Honestly, as someone who dislikes him, good. Go become a Swiftie, become a moron, and screw up the Chiefs' chances of getting another Super Bowl.
I was happy about it because I thought the biggest trash was what the Bears are putting on. Anything to get you off the Bears, that was great because they could have ran that. So that could have been 100-0. Like, not only is Justin Fields in that offense completely inept, don't know what they're doing, getting everyone fired. You're basically setting everyone from Eberflus to the offensive coordinator to everyone on that offense are setting themselves up to be replaced either next year or the year after. They're working themselves into a new job.
The best was on, I think it was Instagram. One of the Swifties is so livid with this relationship because she writes about it in her songs. Now, I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
That's
My
great.
daughter does. She writes about being an Eagles fan.
Oh, no.
And how she loves wearing her Eagles gear and all this yada, yada, yada. And now you're in the Chiefs.
Well, that's the brother, Jason Kelce. I mean, she's got that covered right there with the brother. I'm just saying, if that can distract everyone else from knowing how bad the Bears are,
I hope that it distracts the Eagles because the Cowboys need a distraction right now. His name's Dak Prescott.
Well, the Bears had 99 yards passing. Or I should say 116. There was some sack yardage taken off of Justin Fields' line. But their offense is bad. The Chiefs' offense is decent. It's good. I don't put it in the great category weeks yet. Yeah, like past Chiefs offenses, Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, those are great offenses.
But they're 2-1.
Yeah, but the Bears suck. The Bears are the Bears used to hang their hat on defense and special teams. It didn't matter who was playing quarterback. Bears used to run the football a lot more than what they're doing. It didn't matter who was the quarterback. Like the Bears have zero identity. Their identity is I don't know what I'm doing on offense and defense and special teams. And I think it's by design. I really do think it's by design, and that's unfortunate because Justin Fields, to me, now is going to be a backup for the rest of the time if he's lucky to get that. You know, enjoy these times starting with this crappy team in order to get some game film to get you your next job. Because even through week 3, man, I see no help from the Chicago team.
Didn't want to, get off base here, but Cleveland Browns are 2-1. The Lions are 2-1. The Packers with Jordan Love 2-1. Your Colts are 2-1.
Woo!
So my brother, he was having a nightmare watching the Chargers go to 1-2 and the Vikings go to 0-3.
All right, so the Vikings. What the hell are you doing not spiking the football with 30 seconds left? So
same thing with the Cowboys running the football down 12 with less than 5 minutes.
Believe it or not,
it's idiocracy.
Kirk Cousins is top of the league in yards. They're 0-3. Kirk Cousins is feeding the ball to every possible chance he can get.
He's doing everything he should be doing.
Getting the ball to Justin Jefferson, getting the ball to Osborne, getting the ball to Addison, getting the ball to the running backs. And, the defense has been atrocious in Minnesota for the last couple of years. But they had a chance to win that football game, and the Los Angeles Chargers are known to give it up, known to give up leads. They've done it twice already, known that they're going to give it up in the final drive on their defense. They had them down inside the red zone. They were rushing to get to the ball after the ball was spotted with about 28 seconds left. While they were rushing to get to the ball, people were not getting into motion. They actually had Kirk Cousins hold his hands over his ears so he could hear the call. He finally gets the call, gets everybody set, throws the ball. They're out of time. If they would have spiked the ball there on first down, they would have been able to take a breath, get a game plan, set everybody up, and then hike the next play with 28 seconds left and have 3 plays that would have been touchdown in the end zone passes. And if you didn't get them, they would have been incomplete. You would have had 3 chances. Instead, you didn't know what you were doing. That was bad coaching. I know he was 13-4 last year going to the playoffs, but he has sucked the head coach of Minnesota. I forget his name. The head coach.
Young dude. He's like 35.
That was a big-time blunder, and it was surprising that was Kirk Cousins because all of these mediocre quarterbacks that we have, and he could be the face of mediocrity as quarterback in the NFL. Even him, he should have known better to spike that football at the end of that game. Minnesota, I thought, gave one to the Chargers as they are now 0-3.
Jacksonville, 1-2. 0-2 at home.
Houston,
beat by the Houston Texans. Yeah. They are not trash like we thought they were.
There's 3 things to win a football game. Special teams, special teams, special teams. Will Anderson makes a block on a field goal that totally changes this ball game, and that gets everybody on Houston's side hype. And Jacksonville has this ability to just get punked by teams and look around and be like, all right, what do we do? Who's got an answer? I think they lack leadership on that team still. I think Trevor Lawrence is still a couple of years away from really being a marquee guy. If you lose to that division foe, are we in Jacksonville on this one?
Yes, they're 0-2 at home, like I said.
Golly. I love DeMeco Ryans. I think he's going to be a good head coach if he's allowed to have some time. CJ Stroud, you have got to come with it because quarterbacks right now do not have a good resume. Justin Fields on that mix as well.
When we come back, we'll try to piece together what was Saturday afternoon at the Rent. Another dismal performance by UConn. They go to 0-4 on the season. So we'll talk about it. Bad day at the Rent next.